Hello, viewers. This is SP here, and this is the 7th installment of the Pokémon Final Remake ideas. For Gen 7, I gave it the name Eclipse version. It's a combined version of Sun and Moon, and you would probably guess why I gave it the name Eclipse version. So if you probably watched if you have watched my previous Pokemon Final Remake idea videos, then you probably know that the personality thing, the XP share, and etc. Though for this version, instead of dating any one of the characters in the game, depending on which gender you choose, well, for this Final Remake in Gen 7, you would only date and especially have a romantic relationship with one particular character, depending on which gender your protagonist is. So with the male, aka Elio, he would only date Lily or Lilia or whatever her name is pronounced. And for Selena, aka the female protagonist, I know I have trainer in the name, but bear with me please. Anyway, Selena, aka the female protagonist, would only date Gladion. And yes, this game would have decent storytelling and, like with the original Sun and Moon games, not the uh, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon games. Those versions of Sun and Moon are bad. Anyway, depending on which starter Pokemon the protagonist would choose, then Lily or Gladion would not only have a starter Pokemon that is strong against the protagonist's starter Pokemon, but would also have a regional form of that starter Pokemon, depending on which typing the rival uses. Lily would use fairy types, while Gladion would use, I think, dark types. Yeah, dark types. Or maybe normal types. Well, I haven't thought through with this, but moving on. In this version, there will be two Cosmogs in this game. One for Elio or Selena, aka the protagonists, and one for Lily or Gladion. Depending on which flute the protagonist chooses, the protagonist's Cosmog can evolve into either Solgaleo or Lunala. And yes, there will be regional forms of Solgaleo and Lunala. Depending on which gender the player chooses, either Lilai would be the champion or Gladion would be the champion. Let's see, XP shares, regional forms. Yes, there'll be regional forms for the Gen 7 Pokemon, including evolved and pre-evolved forms of the Gen 7 Pokemon. And if you have watched my Pokemon Ideas videos, sorry, the regional Solgaleo would be a Psychic and Dark type, and regional Lunala would be a Psychic and Fairy type. Though we could do it in backwards, but I think it just makes more sense for a regional Solgaleo to be a Psychic and Dark type because a sun can create shadows when hitting on someone or something. And for Lulana, being psychic and fairy type would make sense because the light would shine during the darkness, like, the stars and the moon. Though I was thinking about having genders for the two of them. So Galileo would be male and Lunala would be female. And if you want to know why I have these final remake games be connected to each other, well, it's mostly because of this. Well, not mostly, it's actually a big reason for the connection. Because some of the trial captains would, I mean, most of the trial captains would be the children of the protagonists from the previous gen games. And that includes the main protagonist for Gen 7 too. For Elio, aka the male protagonist, he would be the son of Callum or Serena, or both. For Selena, aka the female protagonist, she would be the daughter of Ethan or Chris, or both. Lana would be the daughter of Lucas or Don, or both. Kaiwi, or whatever his name is pronounced, would be the son of Brandon or May, or both. Malo, or whatever her name is pronounced, is the daughter of Hilbert or Hilda, or both. And Sophilus, or whatever his name is pronounced, he would be the son of Red or Green, or both. Olivia is the daughter of Brock, and Lucy, if the player from Gen 3, or if the protagonist from Gen 3 didn't choose Lucy as a romantic partner from. Hapu would be the daughter of Emma, and yes, maybe the cousin of the main protagonist or male protagonist for Gen 7. If you get it. But that idea is optional. Acerola would be the daughter of Fantina because they're both ghost type users and stuff like that. Anyway, the story in this version is similar to the original Sun and Moon games, not Ultra Sun and Moon, which would include Luciana's character. You know, how her obsession for the Ultra Beast and stuff. It's pretty much like in the original Sun and Moon games. Deranged, corrupt, twisted. You get it. For the post story, it's about, or sorry, in the post game, the protagonist would face the head villains from the previous games, which they call themselves like, I don't know, Rainbow, Rocket, or maybe we could get a better name. And for this post game, it would be focused on Necroza. Necroza. Yes, with the main villains using Necroza for their personal games. For Lysander, if the protagonist from Gen 6 saved him, he would then he would compliment the main protagonist for Gen 7 about his or her father or mother saving his life and being a good person and stuff, that his battle with the main protagonist would be like a test or something to see if he or she could live up to his or her mother or father. Well, sorry. Moving on. So yeah, if you watch the previous videos, you know about the art style. So I'm just gonna show you what the characters would wear for this final remake of Gen 7. For Elio, aka the male protagonist, this is what he wears. This is what Selena, aka the female protagonist, would wear. Lily, or whatever her name is pronounced, this is what she wears. But then she would start wear her own clothing after she joins with the with the male protagonist. You know that outfit. You probably get it. with the ponytail and stuff. Gladion, this is what he wears, and yes, I originally planned to have him be a dark type user, but that idea is just optional for me. No, I think maybe we should let him be a dark type user because it makes sense, and this is what Moan would look like. Yes, he's the father of Leia and Gladion. This is what Professor Kuki, or whatever his name is pronounced. This is what he looks like. This is what Hao would looks like. He would be a fighting type user and plans to succeed his father, you know, to to be a trial captain and stuff like that. And for the trial captains, this is what Lilam, or whatever his name is pronounced, would look like. This is what Lana would look like, or what she wears. This is what Kawaii, or whatever his name is pronounced, would wear. This is what Malo would wear. This is what Spotulus would wear, whatever his name is pronounced. This is what Acerola would wear. This is what Hala would wear. This is what Olivia would wear. This is what Nanu would wear. This is what Hapu would wear. And for the Elite Four, I've made some changes to the Elite Four, like having, three of the trial captains be replaced with these characters who are type users too. This is Molani. He's a steel type user, and he's going to be an Elite Four in this final remake of Gen 7. And this is what he wears. And this is Kahili, and a flying type user. And this is what she wears. This is Ryuki. He's one of the Elite Four now, and he's a dragon type user, and this is what he wears. And this is Mina. She's now one of the Elite Four and uses fairy types like an original, and this is what she wears. Now the champions, well, I said earlier that either one of these two would be the champion, depending on which gender the protagonist is for Gen 7. And this is Team Skull, so yeah. So basically, the characters would be wearing their original outfits for the whole game. I'm just showing you the characters is all. So this is Guzma. This is Plumira. This is what the grunts of Team Skull look like. But we can give them like different hair colors and skin colors for each of them for the heck of it. This is Losamine, or Losamine, whatever her name's pronounced. This is Faba. This is Wiki. And this is what the grunts look like. Yes, with different skin colors and hairstyles, and So that's about it for my ideas for a final remake of Gen 7. What do you guys think about my ideas for a final remake of Gen 7? What ideas do you have for a final remake of Gen 7? Leave a comment down below, subscribe, and goodbye.